Good afternoon and welcome to our latest episode of Jump In Let's Play. Today we're going to be doing a little unboxing on Ominoes and then taking a look at how the game is played before coming back for our final thoughts. See you in a moment. So here we are, set up, ready to go for a game of Ominoes. First thing that will happen is each player will take 2 dice showing their symbol and will place them anywhere on the board. So let's just quickly get that done. And then once all those have been placed, each player will then roll a dice. So we'll start with green up in the corner here. So he has a red one, he can place that anywhere he would like. Blue will roll, and he'll place that anywhere he likes. Red rolls, he'll place that down here. And finally yellow rolls. They rolled that, so they're going to place that one right in the corner there. So we now start with 3 dice per player on the board for a total of 12 dice in a 4-player game. Each player has their score markers here and the pool of dice in easy reach of every player. For a 4-player game, it will be the first one to get to 13 points. You do this by creating groups of 4 or more of the same colour, which can include wilds, which we'll explain in just a moment. But ostensibly, you want to get a group of 4 or more in order to score those points. So, starting with the green player, they will roll their dice, and then one of a few things will happen. So they've rolled. This is a wild dice. This one, called Ominoes, will allow you to re-roll any dice on the board and place it back down in the same position. So they are going to re-roll this one here because it is showing a red, and it's a yellow. So it goes back down in the same space, and then this will be placed anywhere on the board. So green is just going to place it there. We then move to blue and they will do exactly the same thing. So they've got a red here. So now, because they've rolled a colour that's on the board, one of the 4 colours, they get to move one of the colours, one of the dice of that colour rather, 3 spaces in any direction. So they're going to move this one 3 spaces this way. They then get to place this one on the board. So they're going to chuck that one right in the corner there. So red is nice and dispersed. It's going to make them a lot harder to score. We now move to red, and they have the same thing here. So they get to move a green 3 spaces. So they are going to go 1, 2, 3. Then they place this anywhere they would like. And finally, we end with yellow, who has rolled a blue. So they're going to move 1, 2, 3. And then they're going to place this blue one here. Then going back to green. So green has rolled a green, which is very handy for them. So they're going to go 1, 2, 3 there. And then they're going to place this one. So they will place this one right here, creating ourselves a group of 4 here, as this one does count as a wild. So these 4 get removed from the board. Green goes up to the 4 points on the score tracker, and these dice are added back to the dice pool. We then move to blue, who's going to roll theirs. Now they've got this one that allows them to move any dice on the board 3 spaces. So they're going to go 1, 2, 3, move this one back down, and then place this one here. Now, like Ominoes, this one, Yera, is a wild. So if it allows you to connect a group of 4 or more, then you can use it to score. We'll go to red. They have rolled a blue, so they can move a blue 3 away, so 1, 2, 3, moving that one up there, and they're going to chuck this one right down here, and finally we end up with yellow, and they have rolled a green. So there's only one green on the board currently. 1, 2, 3 for the movement, and then we'll place the other one just here, and it will keep going like this until one player has got to or exceeded 13 points on their turn. So that is the gameplay. We'll head back up top to discuss our final thoughts. Hello and welcome back. I hope you found that useful. So we'll dive into our final thoughts on the game. So we'll start as always with the rulebook, and the rulebook could not be any simpler. We've got it here. It's really a rule leaflet because we've just got a double-sided page here. Every other page is in a different language. So it's multilingual as well, but the game itself is language independent once you start playing. The rest of the components, we've got the dice themselves. These are very clear, nice wooden dice as well, so they're very tactile, very warm in the hands. I do like that. You don't often see wooden dice in a lot of games these days, but they are really nice, and all the sides are etched in as well. And then finally we've got the board itself. So again, the board is very clear. It's going to give us our objectives for the 3 to 4 player game and the 2 player game. We also have a different side if you want a tighter game. This is meant for the 2 players, but you can play it with more and make it a bit of a tighter game. And then obviously the 3 and 4 player game here. There are also variants in the game as well. So these squares in the middle and this square in the middle here, you can use that as a forbidden area that you'll have to move around just to add a bit more strategy to the game if you so desire. So the gameplay itself is really straightforward. I love dice rolling games. You have that randomness of luck, but you mitigate that with exactly what you're going to do. So things like King of Tokyo, for example, has that kind of vibe as well. Into the Blue, classic games like Yahtzee, for example. Obviously in this, you're not rolling multiple dice, you're just rolling one dice, and then you've kind of got the sort of abstract strategy, sort of chess-like moving around the boards as you're trying to create your groups. The gameplay is really easy, and presents you with a lot of options when you're rolling a dice. There's always a 50% chance on the dice roll that you're going to get something that's going to be useful to you, a 50% chance that it's going to benefit one of your opponents. So that is always a really interesting kind of dynamic there with that, because obviously you're going to want to help yourself, but if you do roll one of the colours for one of your opponents, you're going to want to try and get that as far away as possible from them. But obviously you don't know what they're going to be rolling either, so that adds to the challenge as well. All in all, it's a really delightful game, really well made, nice tight mechanics in this game. Nothing superfluous to it as well. You've got the very clear board, you've got the dice, nice tactile dice, very clear, and we've got some nice markers as well for each player's score. So all in all, makes a very, very tidy abstract strategy game. If you'd like to play this, we do have this copy in our boardroom for you to play, and we do have it for sale on the shop floor as well, $19.95 if you'd like to take a copy home. It makes a great present this time of year for anyone that's really into their abstract strategy games. Maybe they like chess, checkers, or some of our other popular games such as Corridor or Quixo. They're looking for other games that kind of fit that strategy feel. That is everything for this, guys. I hope you enjoyed, and we'll see you in the boardroom.